You there, second desk, blue jacket. What is your name?
My name is Alexis.
Alexis, please leave my lecture room. I don't want to see you at one of my lectures ever again.
I don't understand.
I am not going to ask a second time. Thank you. Why are there laws? What are laws for? Anyone?
Social order.
To protect the person's personal rights.
So that you can rely on the government.
Justice? Thank you. Tell me, was I unfair to your classmate just now? Indeed I was. So, why didn't any of you protest? Why didn't any of you try and stop me? Why didn't you want to prevent this injustice? You see, what you have just learnt, you wouldn't have understood in 1,000 hours of lectures unless you lived it. You didn't say anything because you weren't affected yourself. And this attitude speaks against you and against life. You think it doesn't concern you, so it's none of your business. Well, I'm here to say, if you don't help bring about justice, then one day you too may experience injustice. And there will be nobody there to stand before you.
Welcome to the channel. If you're first time joining, if you return, thank you for coming back. Man, we are in 2026. Boy, it's been a crazy couple years. Man, I just want to say thank you for being here on this journey. Bro, it has not been easy at all. And there's so much that I wish that I could say on the internet, but for legal reasons, I can't go into detail and I can't just vent, you know, on here because it would not be good. You just can't, certain things you just can't say on the internet. And, but I definitely want to say thank you. A lot of you came to this channel for, you know, probably to learn something, or, you know, you've seen a video that piqued your interest or something like that. But, you know, and I'm glad that you use your discernment and common sense to kind of filter through the BS, because it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it's understandable if, you know, everybody has their opinion and you just got to take it for what it is. The years have been crazy. Last year was insane, but some crazy stuff happened right before the year ended. I'm going to show you a state employee, a litigation specialist, lying on a government document. So, and you have to see this. This is a must see, right? So I got a mission for you guys.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
But before we go any further, anytime you see this arrow pop up, oh sorry, this way, this arrow pop up on the screen, go into the description box below. You know, the information, you know, we're not going to waste a bunch of time talking about reiterating and going over stuff that, you know, that's going to be down there. Just go and check that out. So let's do a recap of 2025. All right, we got 4 lawsuits on different entities, just 2 cities and county and state. All right, those suits are already, they're pretty much already won. It's just getting the defendant served, right? And, you know, you've seen they've been playing with the court documents, they've been playing with the mail. It's just been a whole bunch of just craziness. Family members trying to get your boy locked up for freaking elderly abuse and all kind of crap. Egg donor coming over, friggin' destroying property, and then the Henry County police not doing anything about it at all, right? Even though they've been given the evidence right there in front of their face. This right here is just, it's the icing on the cake. This doesn't even need to, let me tell you something. This is what they're really worried about. They're worried about the plaintiff winning these civil lawsuits, right? And then the media coverage behind it and the money that's going to be paid out, and them, especially with the media, them taking advantage of somebody who had mental disabilities, and what they did was just outrageously insane. It's probably never been done, or probably been done a couple of times, but just nobody knows about it, right? And after that, it'll become criminal, and there will be people that will be going to jail. They'll be losing their jobs, their whole career, pension, all that going down the drain. They're going to jail, and they'll probably never be able to work in any type of law enforcement or any type of state government, anything having to do with. They're going to be working as a cashier at some low budget store somewhere, if they don't just check out of life or some shit. I don't know, I probably shouldn't have said that, but you know, it's gonna give you that crazy, because you ain't gonna be able to handle it. You've been doing all type of legal stuff, now you got caught doing it, and you know, and you're getting oh man, it's gonna piss some folks off. You're getting taken down through there by somebody who's, you know, an ex-con or whatever, and it's supposed to be labeled as a criminal, and it's ignorant, and it's crazy, and it's a drug addict that doesn't know anything, but it's giving y'all the business on paper. And they say the pen is mightier than the sword. But anyway, before I start rambling, let's jump off into it so I can show you this madness. Oh, before I go any further, you don't want to hear it from me? Let's hear it from a licensed attorney. A civil matter that had criminal conduct within it, especially from city, state, and county employees, will go criminal. So let's check that out.
Can a civil case lead to criminal charges? So you've been sued civilly, and it's over damages. Say you've been sued for fraud or bad business dealings or breach of contract. How might that lead to a criminal case? So far you haven't been charged criminally, but you see what happens in a lawsuit. There's what's called a discovery process. Each side has to give all of their documents in their possession that are relevant to the case. And you're also subject to what's called an examination for discovery. Well, that's under oath. So during this process, it might uncover all sorts of evidence that incriminate you. And the other side can then go to the police. It becomes a public record. The police can discover it. And the police may feel there's reasonable probable grounds to charge you with a criminal offense. So yes, civil charges can lead to criminal charges, and it's a very dangerous thing. So whatever you disclose to the other side may become a public record, and you have to disclose everything. Those are the rules in a civil case. It's full discovery. Each side has to give the other side all their documents, and you're subject to discovery. So that discovery is an examination of discovery. And there's a problem with that too. You see, now you're under oath, so you may be making certain admissions. Now, for example, let's say you testify at your criminal trial and you say something inconsistent with what you said at the examination for discovery in the civil case. Well, the Crown can cross-examine you on that as long as it's not a criminal admission. It gets complicated, but it's hard to keep people's story straight, even whether you're lying or telling you the truth. If you've testified once in a proceeding and 2 years later you're testifying in a criminal proceeding, it's very difficult for even the most truthful witness to get their story straight.
You can go on over to peachcourt.com and look this case up. There goes the case number right there. You can punch that in, and that'll bring the case right on up. We're gonna go ahead and scroll on down to this exhibit that I want to show you guys. It is crazy, and this is just insane. But I'm gonna show you how dirty these folks play. So this is a response to an anti-litem notice, right? Whenever you send off the anti-litem notice, giving them notice about, you know, whatever you're filing on. Since it was a state entity, it was against the Henry County Henry County Solicitor's Office. And this was the response from the specialist. That's the title. Be advised, the Department of Administrative Services does not provide coverage to the County Solicitor's Office at this time and would suggest that you would follow up with Henry County Solicitor General's Office to address the claim outlined in your response. Outlined in your correspondence, right? This chick right here, right? She is a litigation specialist, and she straight up lied. This is a lie. This is a lie on a government document. That is a crime in itself. This is an open and shut case just on this right here alone. And let me tell you, let me break something else down. I want to break down how critical the situation is and where the injustice is being done. There is several civil litigations in progress, pending litigations. You are a state employee. Your job is to investigate if one of your state employees did something wrong, right? Because you're the risk manager, you're handling insurance claims. You're a litigation specialist. You're not a clerk or intern or something like that. You've been doing this for some years. How about this? You guys make an open request for this person's, their record. See what they've been doing. How long they've been doing their job. 3 business days, you'll get an answer. And they can't deny it. And if they do, you can sue them. So now we're going to look at how many laws and how much stuff this person is violating in doing this. Let's break this down. I'm going to show you how this person just blatantly lied, right? So this is dealing with the anti-liability notice. Anytime before you file a claim on any state entity, no person or firm or corporation having a tort claim against a state under this article shall bring an action against the state upon which the claim without first giving them notice. Pretty much you can't just file a lawsuit without giving them notice first, and it has to be within 12 months. So what it does, when you do, the claim shall be given in writing and shall be mailed, certified mail, or overnight statutory delivery with a return receipt requested or delivered personally, and receipt obtained from the risk management department, right? The risk management department of the Department of Administrative Services, right? It goes to them. That is the law if it's a state employee. And in addition, a copy shall be delivered or personally to a first class mail to the state entity or the act of admission. Pretty much what happened in that, right? And their office and claims, pretty much the same thing. You send it to the Department of Administrative Services and whoever you're planning on filing a lawsuit against, right? And it says explicitly here, no action against the state under this article shall be commenced, and any courts have no jurisdiction thereof unless you have given a written notice and then timely presented to the state and is proved in this subsection. So it'll get dismissed, even if you're right or whatever. If you don't do this first step first, you're hit. But there again, she lied. She said it doesn't go to them. It's right here in the law in black and white. So let's go on a little bit further and dig a little deeper, right? So if you are filing a claim on a state entity, right, they have the sovereign immunity crap. You go talk to a lawyer, they're like, oh, you can't do this and third. Yes, you can. But this action, the state waives sovereign immunity only to the extent in the manner provided in this article and only with respect to actions brought in the courts of the state of Georgia. It does not waive any immunity. It does not waive any immunity. I don't care what they did. With respects to actions brought in the U.S. District Courts. Brought in the courts of the United States. So don't do it there. Do it in the state courts, and you have to do it within the jurisdiction of whatever county that state or that entity resides in. Right. Now let's go to the Code of Ethics. This applies to. There's established for which the state and of all governments within the Code of Ethics of a government shall serve. So I believe that this is with city, state, county, everybody, right? Put loyalty to the highest moral principle of the country above all persons, parties, and governments and department. Uphold, this is extremely important. Uphold the Constitution, laws, regulations of the United States and the state of Georgia, and of all the governments therein, and be a party, and never be a party to their evasion. Pretty much don't duck and dodge the law when it's come time to pay the piper. Let me see. Discriminate is other way, but this is more stuff about. Expose corruption whenever discovered. So anybody within that office that's seen that letter, anybody that sees this letter and they're a state employee is supposed to report it, right? Uphold the principles and conscious that the public office is a public trust. So these people, we're supposed to be able to trust these folks, but they sit and pay lying to folks and stuff like that. Now let's go a little bit deeper. That's what the Code of Ethics for state law, right? This is in the code books, right? Now this is the offense. Any officer or person stealing, embezzling, goes into detail, but where is that? Or falsifies any document, right? And it goes in deeper into it. Belong to or any proceeding or whatever belonging to public office within the state of a person shall cause or procure of the offenses to be committed. Pretty much you have anything to do with it, right? Or any manner concerned therein, he shall be guilty of a felony. Bro, that's an F on a report card. You went from working for a state, now you're a convicted felon, dog, and you go into prison. Shall be punished by imprisonment and labor in the penitentiary for not less than 2 years. So you're going to serve a minimum 2 years and no more than 10, depending upon the extent of what you did. Now, let's go on further. I'm going to break it on down some more. Now, when it talks about state employees, this pretty much gives the definition of what a state employee is. So it talks about a district attorney, whatever judicial circuit, the assistant district attorneys, the deputy district attorneys, other attorneys, investigators, paralegals, paraprofessionals, pretty much paralegal, into clerks, victims, witness assistants, pretty much anybody that works in that office, right? And that title. So that pretty much breaks that down. Let's keep moving. And then, right, this is very important. Title 45 of the Georgia State Code, public officers and employees. This breaks down all their everything. We're not going to go through all this. It's a lot, but this is where you find it. And you go right here to Chapter 11, miscellaneous offenses concerning public officers and employees. That's where a lot of that stuff was found, right? So, falsify certificates in writing by officers or employees of the state or political divisions. Any employee pretty much to be false. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. Pretty much any statement writing containing any statement which he knows is false shall be convicted thereon upon and be punished of imprisonment no less than a year or more than 5 years. So there's a couple of titles that I had came across. There's like 2 or 3 that I came across pretty much said the same thing. When you're making false statements or false, on documents, but it's this thing that's different. There's one for citizens and then there's one for state employees. This is the one for state employees. So let's say you go to file against these folks on that, and you go under the Title 16, which is a criminal statute, and it's like, I think it's 16-10-20 or something like that. But that's for a citizen, and they'll dismiss it because it's not the right statute. So you got to be careful when you're doing that. Now, check this out. This is where it gets really interesting. Now, the state is, the state, the Department of Administrative Services is represented by a state attorney, right? Whenever the state mess up, they usually have an attorney in-house, right? Now, they have to apply by the same rules, right? They can't make a false statement or material fact of law by a tribunal. So if they know or fail to disclose material fact to the tribunal when disclosed is necessary to avoid assisting a criminal or fraudulent act by the client. So in this situation, when this woman made this false statement on a government document and then they get representation from a state attorney and they see this paper, they have to report them, bro. They have to report them. They have to bring it to the authorities. Look, and then fail to disclose to the tribunal legal authority and control of the jurisdiction known by lawyer directly adverse to the opposition and the client, and does not disclose the opposing counsel. Pretty much going to, in this situation, telling the plaintiff, like, hey, look, we messed up over here. Don't even worry about it, bro. Like, you got it. You know what I'm saying? And it goes in more detail with that. So now let's look at the Code of Ethics for the state. This is the official order by the governor. Governor Kemp. Governor Kemp. Now, employees in their position of public interest shall not find. Here it goes. A oral or written statement made by an employee in their official capacity as a state employee shall be made in what an employee believes to be an honest and truthful manner. So if they make a false statement, bro, you're hit. Employees who witness or have evidence of misconduct shall report it immediately to the ethics officer of the agency. Ethics officers shall report any conduct that violates the code of ethics to the governor's executive council or the office of inspector general. The employees who's relevant employed, and pretty much that sums it up right there. And then from there, they have a counsel who handles all that stuff, and they see the evidence, and they pretty much from there you get criminally charged. So this is what I need you guys to do. I need you guys to make some open records requests into some of this information. Let's start here. Let's look up some of these people that that are in these lawsuits. They quit. They just up and quit. They had good paying jobs, quit. This is the first one. This chick right here made an open request to her. She violated that statute. She didn't respond to it within 3 days. 3 days. She actually took damn near, she took a long time, like way long time, ridiculous. And the beauty of this is, if you make an open record request to these people for the information and they don't give it to you within 3 business days, you can sue them yourself as well. So now second one, this was one of the arresting officers of the initial case, one of the case out of the city of Hampton. She up and quit. You can request her letter of resignation. You know, all these people get their stuff, get everything that you question that you want to ask me. You can make open record request for it. All information, the case, all this stuff. You can go on to Peach Court and look and read the whole case yourself. You can get all this stuff on your own, and the majority of it's free. But on Peach Court, I believe you do have to pay a cost to get the stuff printed out, which kind of sucks. And the state stuff is weird. Anyway, and finally, last but not least, this attorney right here, she quit. She was the one over the case that was in state court. There's a video about all the crap that happened in that. Not too detailed because we can't talk about stuff that happened in courtrooms. Just insane. In the description box below. And just make an open request for it. You ain't gotta believe nothing I'm saying. I know that some people, you know, this is a lot, and y'all like, yeah, whatever. You know, it's not me, it's you. This is like entertainment. Some folks come here and laugh at me and stuff like that. But bro, this is a whole lot deeper. This is just what I'm showing you, and it's in black and white. This is public record. You could take this information. You could take it to the news. That's the only time stuff really happens, when it's on the news, and then everybody gets involved. You know what I'm saying? You take it to the news. It's open record. They can get the same thing. Dude, with the city of Lovejoy, with them lying about the open record request, saying they didn't have body camera footage, only to produce it later on. This chick lying on a government document, misleading the plaintiff to believe that they have to contact the Henry County about the issue. Guess what? Letters never got responded to, bro. Like nothing. They're like, just ignore him and he'll go away. What? Come on, bro. And they wrong. They dead wrong. And the crazy part about it, all this started from some tickets. From citations, bro. Simple tickets. They could have just, if the officer had any damn common sense, he would just been like, you know, just get out of here. Just leave the person alone, bro. It wasn't doing nothing. Then they beat it. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And what it really comes down to is money. There's money and a bunch of other illegal stuff that it took place, and I want to get all into it, but I can't. Y'all don't understand how frustrating it is, because this is the internet, and I went to people. Look, you can take this information and bring it to the state prosecutor, bring it to the prosecutor of your county, like, look, I got this evidence, this, that, and third, and they are obligated to do something about it, because the prosecutors are state employees. If you bring that to them, they have to do something about it. And check this out, if they don't do nothing about it, then they get in trouble, and they'll be in front of the Board of Ethics and Inspector General. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't do nothing, you go above higher than them. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get me locked up. I'm gonna keep it a bean. They trying to put me under the jail. Because get out of here.
I can't wait for you to go back to jail.
See?
Where you can get sober again.
There you go. Bye. Have a good day.
Have a good day, Mr. Meth Head. Make sure you go back to jail. I swear to God I will. You gonna go under the jail cell. I promise you that. As sure as I'm your mother and I'm breathing, I'm gonna make sure you go back to jail.
This is just too much. It's just too much illegal stuff that then took place. You know what I'm saying? And I'm right, bro. I could. And it's hard for me not to get upset and just start rambling and ranting and shit, because it's a lot. Look, on Peach Court, I know. Where can I point you? The last amended complaints in all those cases, just go read them. The proof is right there. You could make an open record request for the same stuff, bro. It's all public record. Ain't nothing hidden. It's just I'm pointing you in a direction. You know what I'm saying? And then if something goes wrong, and I've said it before, this is the crazy part about it, bro. I've said it before in the past. I know when things are about to go really, really bad. I feel it in my bones, bro. I feel it in my soul. Yo, it's about to get stupid ugly. It's just about to be not good at all. And nobody listens to me. And then when it happens, then they turn around and blame me. I'm like, man, what the? I just sat up here and told you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you telling a little kid, hey, don't put your hand in that fire. You're going to get burnt. You know, kid playing with the stove. You know, you're going to get burnt. You put your hand, you're going to get burnt. And they're like, I told you. And I'm sitting up here telling y'all, and I'm showing y'all, bro. And when it comes down to legal stuff, unless it's you put in that situation, a lot of people, they don't care. You know, it's nothing. You know what I mean? And the one thing that I got that's a downside to all this is undercover granny and my family, and they all women, and people are gonna believe these people, especially an old lady. Everybody's gonna believe an old lady. She can say whatever she wants to. You know what I'm saying? Break all kind of laws. Oh, she's just old. No, you know, this, that, and third. A lot of old folks is grimy as hell, bro. Some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. They get away with literally murder. Like, literally. I'm gonna tell you like this. Oh, I shouldn't even say this. I had a relative come to me, and they pretty much told me that they were visited, and they was like, we're not worried about you and whatever illegal activity you're in. You're a little fish. We want him. Help us get him, and you know, you good. You can keep doing whatever you're doing. Straight up, bro. Out their own mouth. And I got it on recording. I want to put it on the internet so bad. Oh my God, but this boy. Oh, I shouldn't even said that shit. I got so much stuff. So much crap, bro. And then right here in black and white, and I'm showing you guys. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what. Like I said, man, just make open requests for this stuff. Go on the peace court. You can pull up yourself. Take it. Make a phone call or two. Say, hey, listen. That's what you do. Make a phone call. Say, hey, listen. I got some evidence of a state employee or a county employee, city employee doing some illegal stuff, and I want to know who I bring it to. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part, you can't even go to GBI. I tried that shit. That don't work. You got to be an officer to bring something to, you know, they're just state police to bring it to them. You got to be a state, like you got to be a cop in order to bring something like that. Or you got to be working within this office to have the whistleblowers law and stuff like that. So it's crazy. You have to. I researched a lot of stuff, and I'm sure, bro. I just it'll just bore you with all this. It's just, you know, if it's not you going through it, you're just gonna be like, yeah, whatever. But like, it's not a problem until it becomes your problem. Until you see yourself sitting in a situation, I guarantee you come running back to this channel like trying to figure out how I do this, how I do that, brother. And I got them. I'm gonna tell you like this, and you can go pull it up. You can go to this channel and go look at some of the stuff, look at these case numbers. But it's been like straight up like 20 years of me fighting these people, bro, in the court system and getting done wrong. And it took me this long to really figure out that pretty much every single thing that I went through the system, they violate my rights left and right. And a lot of people that go through the system, and not even go through the system, just have any type of encounter with these folks, they waive their rights out of ignorance and out of fear. You know what I mean? And I've been done dirty and been through so much. I'm not even scared no more. I'm just not too much. You know what I'm scared of? I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm scared of God and crazy women. Those are my two fears. Everything else I done pretty much been through, so it's like another Monday. It's not funny, but that's the truth, and that's actually bad. That's a bad thing. You don't. Ooh, I need to stop talking. You guys, if you made it to the end, man, I'm relying on you guys to at least just go look into this stuff. You probably never made an open records request before. Just try it. It's free. It won't take but a couple minutes of your time. You know what I mean? And you'll get a response within 3 days. And if these people do not want me to win, bro. It is so, man, there's so much I want to say, man. You guys have no idea, bro. It's so much money at play. That's really the and it's so frustrating. Just man, thank you guys, man. And hopefully I catch you on the next one. Peace.